Hello, this is the late night edition. Jimmy's little diatribe here. August 18th, as you can see, the 18th of the month. Yeah, it's past the 15th of the month. Yeah, well, Apple is in the news lately because the iPhone 17 is coming out. Before you know it, it's coming out. Yeah, and we're on the AT&T plan uh, where we pay $5 a month extra, I believe, so that we have the privilege of turning in last year's phone this year, and we get a new one, and then and it's all interest free, which is nice. So you're only dealing with principal and sales tax. So you have to pay the sales tax on the entire phone. So let's just say it's $1,000 phone. So there would be a $60, $65 sales tax. I think it's 6.5%. So so there you go. It's 65 dollars. So you got to pay $65, and your first month's installment payment, and you simply take $1,000. We'll do it on our trusty calculator here. $1,000, and divide that by 36, and that's your monthly payment. There is no. Oh, nice. So in a sense, they're discounting the phone, whatever their imputed interest rate would be. So we'd say that's prime plus 3. So 10%. So it's, what's not to like? You don't have to turn it in every year. So you can just go in there and buy the phone, pay the $65, pay the $27, and just pay $27.77 every month for 35 months left over, and then the phone is yours. What's not to like? That's something to do. Yeah, that's, that's a good thing. You can see that we're supposed to get the time of day in there. There we go. It's 11:14, and over here we have our trusty calculator. There's our trusty Tesla. It's plugged in. Yeah, now plugged it in. So we're up to 94%. I don't like to charge it to 100%. I read somewhere routinely it shouldn't go over 95% for the health of the battery. So, I mean, it is a lease. You do turn it in, every year. So, there we go. late night. This is a late night edition of this program. 11 p.m. 16 minutes past the hour. We know where our Tesla is. This is a big week. This is a big month, actually. This is a big 2 months for Tesla because of robotaxi. And robotaxi is, you know what Uber is, right? Well, Tesla is going to put, let's just pretend, they're going to put 100 cars in around the area of Boca Raton, in a parking lot somewhere. And you're going to get as a citizen of Boca Raton, you're going to be invited to download an app. And it's going to be the Tesla, it's going to be the robotaxi app. Might as well call it the right thing. It's good. It's the robotaxi app. Let's see if we can. So we're going to go to the App Store, and then we're going to hit the little magnifying glass up here on the top, and then we're going to type in here ROBOTAX. See, robotaxi. There it is. All right, what do we get? Uh-huh. How come I don't see anything that says robotaxi? Supercharger. We already have that. Supercharger. Well, I guess I can't show you because as stupid as the stupid does. Yeah, they're gonna show you. I guess just because robotaxi is not in our area yet. And, you get it. If we could pretend we're somewhere else, we could get it. And there is a way of pretending you're somewhere else. And so we're just gonna not do that. But okay. Anyway, so you're gonna do an app. So here's the app for just see if this. I don't even know how to. Subscription congestion fee. In other words, they can charge you extra money if your supercharger is full. Well, fortunately, we have a plug right next door. I'm going to put you here. Okay. Oh. Anyway, robotaxi. Circling back to robotaxi. Why did I bring it up? Because robotaxi in Austin, Texas, has turned down Epidemic Sound Instrumental. It's competing with me, and I can't hear myself think. Whatever that means. It's as my mother used to call, an idiomatic expression. And that's for all those idiots that have an expression that makes no sense whatsoever. All right, here we go. What's this? Fortnite. Fortnite is apparently some kind of epic game, which Trump administration eyes a 10% stake in Intel using CHIPS Act funds. The Trump administration would give a hoot. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. 15-inch MacBook Air sale is really worth taking a look at. Here's why. Well, I happen to have several of these. Yeah, I got my main one and my backup one. I love MacBook Air. I've got one right here. And I keep forgetting whether it's M2 chip and one chip. It's a M2 chip. So I have an M2 and an M3 chip. Yeah, this is the M2, and I've got 28 gigabytes of memory, 24 gigabytes of memory. What is the matter with you? And I have two, make that 2 terabytes of in-computer storage. You know, your disk drive, but there's no disk. It's all chips. Yeah, two terabytes of storage, which that's a good thing. And I've got 24 gigabytes of memory, which is a good thing. And let's see what's going on here with my. I got a new modem. Nothing was like 8 years old. Took a little sip of my Coca-Cola here. And now I have 780. Make that 82, 83, going for 84. I've got 85 megabits per second upload speed. Whew. Ooh. I only need 10, and I got 80. So I should be staying. My streaming should continue to stream. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I was going to tell you, circling back to Tesla and their robo taxi. Yeah, robo taxi. They opened it up in Austin, Texas, in a geofenced area of, I think, 10 or 20 square miles. And they opened it up in Southern California, embracing all 8 cities of Southern California. So we're talking lots, 10 or 15, 10 million people, 8 million people, lots of peoples. Yeah, let's just say 8 million people. And so in California, let's just say California, for the first 50,000 miles worth of driving in California, in order for it to get certified as an acceptable autonomous driving thing, because similar to Uber has a driver. Robotaxi has a person sitting in the driver's seat, but they're just watching. They're not driving. They're there to take charge in case something goes awry. Now, they did it for 7 weeks, I believe, in, southern Texas. in the Austin area where they have their factory, and they went, north of that and a little east and a little west. And, so that geofenced area handled, thousands of robo taxi rides from here to there. They charge, I think in Austin, it was like a flat fee of $4. You can go anywhere in the geofenced area for $4. So they introduced it to several hundred um, influencers, people that are on, the on the internet that are influencers that have a lot of people tracking there, having, that listen to them, watch them, and pay attention to when they have podcasts and all that. Followers. Trying to use the right vocabulary words. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying. So I have my own little thing here, as you know. Maybe as you don't know. I'm going to show you. This is my get up ski. Okay. Over on the left side is my soundboard. It's a Rode, Rode, Rodecaster. Rodecaster Duo, as you can see right there. And it's got buttons all over it and slides. I can turn it up and I can turn it up and I can turn the music up and down. The music. Yeah. So in channel 1, I've got this microphone. In channel 2, we have Epidemic Sound Instrumental. It's actually coming out of my computer up top here. And then it's, so it comes out of this little plug right here. Oops. So I'm listening to Epidemic Sound Instrumental on the computer. All right. It comes out. So then I plug this wire in. And this wire runs all the way around into here, and the top comes in channel 2. And then I can add it to the sound that you're listening to, because you can hear my mouth flapping, and you can hear the music at the same time. Yeah. So the music Epidemic is in channel 2. The microphone is in channel 1. And what kind of microphone is it? It's an SM7B, a Shure SM7B. Most of the podcasters are using this microphone. It is spectacular. Yeah. It has all kinds of abilities. It's a boom mic. Boom, boom. Hear the boom. It's coming down this pipe, hanging on here, and it's all set several inches from my big mouth, and I can speak intelligently, usually. Let's take a look at the hurricane. That son of a gun has got me a little nervous. Oops, let's get the hurricane. There we go. Full screen on the hurricane. So you can see it's rotating counterclockwise. You can see the air pattern. You can see the circular patterns. And See that little blue dot right there, right above Miami? That's where we are in relation to the southern tip of Florida. And that sucker is awfully close. It's frighteningly close. And it keeps saying that it's going to head north, but it ain't heading north. It's heading northwest. Northwest puts it right in my backyard. North is fine, but northwest, west northwest is not fine. So every once in a while I take. You see right here? I mean, they were saying it's going to head north all along this whole path. I mean, it's been not going. Now that's northwest right here. All of this is northwest, but it's supposed to have been north already, but it's not. So I don't know. I'm just afraid if it takes too many more days, whatever influence, whatever is steering that sucker to make a U-turn in the North Atlantic, until it's made the U-turn, I'm not happy. Because that sucker, if we just draw a straight line, it's going to go right into Jacksonville. You know, you just take it from where it says 3, that's category 3. And then category 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And then somewhere between Jacksonville and Savannah is where it could end up. We'll just end up with a lot of winds coming out of the north. If it does what it's continuing to look like it's going to do. Anyway, so I'm just keeping my Radar Pro in the side pocket there. So every once in a while I can go take a peek. And so that's been on my mind. And here's the previous track. You see how it's heading right for us? I mean, you know, I'm not a weather guy, but it looks like it's headed right for me. So, if anything else, that is a instructional thing that says charge your batteries. This is showing all the rainfall that's being caused by this hurricane. Yep, that's what that graph's all about. This is the radar. This is the infrared radar and the visible light radar. You can see where the eye of the storm is and all that. Yeah. That's the northerly path that it's not taking. Yeah. Okay. All right. So so we were looking at the Apple logo. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the zoom lens, which is a telescopic zoom lens in the new phone that's coming out in 4 weeks. Can you imagine? In 4 weeks is another new iPhone. Anyway, the iPhone Pro Max, which has 3 cameras, not 2, but this article has a picture of 2 lenses when it's supposed to have 3. I mean, what's the matter with these people? Don't they know how to write a story that makes any sense whatsoever? Anyway, the Pro Max, the 3rd camera, which would be below and between the 2 that you're seeing. So they showed you a picture of a phone with no telephoto lens. Let's see if we can find what we're looking for. I have so many. Bingo. This is the one they want to talk about. They picked the wrong photo. I mean, they're like morons, right? They're writing the story. That's why it's so aggravating. Anyway, here's the three um, lenses. Behind the top lens is a 48 megapixel camera imager. Behind the bottom lens, 48 megapixel imager. Now the telephoto lens is this one. Is that one. Good catch. Woo. I almost knocked my Pepsi out of my arm, but at least it didn't. I've already knocked this. This was filled with coffee a little while ago, and I knocked that on the floor. And coffee went all over the place. I messed it up. And okay, the fumbles there. Oh, as I was saying, this lens right here houses the zoom lens that is now going to go to 8x instead of just 5x. So it's going to be zoomed to 8. This is all rumor now because Apple is laying in the grass silent. They're not going to tell us until I'm going to go back to there we go, until September. There we go. I've circled the dates. iPhone 17 will be announced on September 9th. And on September 12th, they opened it up for pre-orders. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you listen to them talk about how marvelous the phone is. And then Friday at 8 a.m., bam, they opened up the doors. The internet doors, that is. And you can place your order. Come right over here, place your order. And then on the 19th, the following Friday, they ship them all out FedEx overnight. And there'd be 2 little boxes sitting outside my door here, assuming positive. But you got to get up early. I mean, you got to be ready. Your fingers better be nimble. You better already be halfway through that first cup of coffee. Because if you want to have, the first day cover, remember that in saving postage stamps, the first day cover, where the post office would send themselves envelopes with the inauguration of a new stamp. And that would be the first day cover. Anyway, if you want the first day cover of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, you're going to have to order it Friday morning, September 12th, and then they'll ship it to you Thursday, the 18th, for arrival at your physical address on Friday the 19th. They literally ship them out. FedEx overnight, or UPS overnight, or I think it's FedEx. Now, so where would you do that? Well, at Apple.com is where you would hear the keynote address on Tuesday the 9th. There'll be, if you're on the internet at all, during, Monday, Monday I will have the actual link for that. So you can click on the link, and there it'll be. So that's how you listen to it. All right, so what happens on the 12th? So it's like the red circles. The top red circle is number one. The bottom red circle is number two. And number three in the green box is your delivery. How cool is that, huh? Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, that's why I did it that way. And so this is August 18th. So this is Monday. That's Tuesday. So in 4 weeks, I believe that's 4 weeks. Whew, we'll be doing the iPhone thingy. Now, of course, you can't do anything until the 12th. You listen on the 9th, you take notes, and then you you dial into the Apple site, or, which is what I do, but Marilyn and I do, but I do it for her. I do it for her and I. We're like the Bobbsey twins. She says, whatever you do, I want to do it too. So for the past few years, I'll say 5, 6, 7 years, maybe 8, 9 years, every year we got a new iPhone. Because I got all kinds of nifty new things. And say, what do you need? Well, they're going to have, remember the third lens I was showing you? It's got a 12 megapixel imager on the phone I have. The new phone is going to have a 48 million pixel imager with an 8x optical zoom telephoto lens all built in to your stupid phone. Yeah. So that's, that's a longer lens, as they say, than a 5x zoom. This would be 8x zoom, which is like unbelievable. And it's going to have a 48 million pixel imager. The age of miniaturization is upon us. That's sorry, Bob. The P word. Watch out for those P words. Yeah, they can louse up your audio system big time. SM7B. SM7B. That's our microphone. I'm sure all the it's a beauty. Everybody that's anybody in the podcasting business has SM7B. There's an XLR output. Then you connect it with an inline amplifier. I use Dynamite. It's $100 item. Inline amp. So I have a 10-foot XLR cable. So you plug it into your microphone thing here. Runs down the boom. You can see it runs down. So the wire runs all the way down here, down there, around behind all this stuff. Comes up, it comes up right here. This is it right here. Big old nice flexible cable. This wire right here is coming from my MacBook Pro, and it's giving us the our epidemic sound instrumental. Nice little music you hear in the background. We're streaming, remember? When you're streaming, you should have a constant source of audio. It's like having water drip through a faucet on a cold winter night. If there's no movement of the water in the faucet, the pipes freeze. Well, on the internet, I always think of it in terms of a pipe. You got to keep some kind of sound going through that pipe when you're not talking. You got to take a breath every once in a while. I mean, my best friends say, "Jimmy, take a breath." I think they mean stop talking. So in the world of internet, you always want to have something talking. So I have epidemic sound instrumental. There we go. I like to be on the right side of almost everything. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the iPhone 17. There's, they got a few different colors and they're having a faster chip, and all that stuff's important. If it just had a faster, I wouldn't be upgrading. But the fact that the cameras, Meryl and I are like pseudo professional photographers. So we're into taking pictures. We take millions and millions of pictures. I have a website that houses all these pictures. I'm going to it right now. You can see it. You see that polo guy right there? That is the Renaissance. That is an unbelievable picture of two polo players whacking their mallets together, and they're wrapping around each other. And it makes a very characteristic sound, which everybody in the stands can hear that sound. With all the galloping of the horses and you hear that sound, and I forgot what they call it. Would someone please tell me what the hell they call that? But that is a rare picture where you actually, I've been taking a lot of polo pictures. That's the only time I caught that one. And this is the International Polo Club in South Florida. Anyway, there's Marilyn with Jay Leno. There's Jimmy taking pictures of FAU events. There's Marilyn the cowgirl. She's such a sport. Yeah, look at Jimmy and smile. There you go. Bingo. This is my favorite picture of TP. Now, if you press the TP, 1, 2, 3, press. Now it goes to a gallery. I'm going to press it 1, 2, 3 again. And look at that. We got all the Indian Summer Festival pictures, and they're marching around, and we have ladies serving. And look at this. Is she stunning or what? This guy's making jewelry. And there's Marilyn in the background touching the jewelry. Probably getting ready to buy something. And I'm talking to the guy that makes the jewelry. What the heck? Yeah. And when was this? Can I'm not too sure I can get the exact data of this on my site. There's that. All right. Uh, let's see. I have to. That's the 30 years of nature tradition. Let's look in the text here. Of course, it doesn't tell me. And probably something down here that tells me approximately when these pictures were taken. But look at this 26 million visitors. This counts one by one. I'm the 743rd. If I click on this doodad up on top here and do a refresh of this page, you're going to see that 743 turn out to be 744. I'm going to press that little recycle. And there you go, 744. Just so you don't think it counts. It counts, as it does. I'm going to go home. So now we're back here again. Because here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. Topics like unique events, events, FAU sports, executive portfolios. Now let's do it. There's a lot of pictures in FAU sports. Yes, sir, Bob. If I touch FAU sports, then it's going to open it up to football, basketball, baseball, swimming, diving, tennis, golf, and FAU cheer and dance. Yeah, we've taken a lot of pictures, I can tell you. Now, if we just do FAU football, if I touch that one, this is like a big family tree of stuff here. If I touch that, it's going to open up a whole, oh my God. Now, every one of these is a football game. FAU football versus Southern Miss. We apparently won that game 34-17. See that right there? Yeah. And here's our coach, our former coach. He got bought by Ole Miss. FAU football versus Wagner. 6 p.m. FAU Stadium. This is 2019. That's 6 years ago. Can you believe it? It seemed like 2 months ago. And then look at all these pictures. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of pictures. Now, they're not the kind of pictures, you know, like FA, when they go to commercial on the 15-yard line, then everyone runs out into the 15-yard line, and they wave and they take pictures. And there's someone donated $25,000. AT&T donated $25,000 to Paradise Club, which that has something to do with FAU, something or other. So here's everybody. This is the Paradise Club people, apparently. And it's president of the university and other dignitaries. So I took these pictures for FAU, and then they use these. They put them in a bulletin, so we were sideline people that took pictures, these kinds of things. There were other photographers that took pictures of like the action sports stuff, where the guy. Now, if they run right in front of me, I'll take a picture. But I'm not there to try to capture, like on CBS Sports. No, I take pictures of the people here. That this lady won a $10,000 gift card at Michael's, and they had a drawing or something. There's some reason why she won the $10,000 gift card, and I don't know what it is, but someone at FAU is going to write a story about that, or did 6 years ago, and they used my picture in their story. Here, I took a picture of the Jumbotron thing they have there. The Schmidt Family Enterprises financed this. They gave him a bunch of millions. Dick Schmidt is the person. Wait, who I know. Anyway, there's the coach. Yep, see, there's that shot. What are you doing to me? He's turned around to the umpires, the referees, and saying, "What the heck was that all about?" Apparently, when this event was being photographed, we were going to be changing our clocks. Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Here's my camera stuff. We're getting it ready, and my trusty cat is keeping an eye on me while I'm doing that. Actually sitting in my camera bag, in my camera case. These cats are unbelievable. Oh yeah, we're going to keep an eye on old Jimmy. And the best way to do that is get in his camera bag. All right, home. Home, James. We get back to you again. How about this side, huh? There are 500,000 pictures on this site, including my recipe for my world famous tomato sauce, which I'm about ready to make. Look at that. Here's the ingredients. My mother gave me this recipe, and her mother gave her the recipe, and she gave it to me in 1963. And I wrote this article in 2012. You see 2012 right there. And it's online, so anybody can. Now I make, it's 6 cans, it's 8 cans. I'm actually into about, I have 4 cans. So I would divide everything here by 2, since I'm only using 4 of those 14-ounce cans. And I've changed the tomatoes to, there's plum tomatoes, whole peeled plum tomatoes, and it's from a Lessie's. The Lessie's home plum tomatoes. Okay. And then you got the instruction A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and it goes A through Z. How about that? Yeah. Every letter of the alphabet going right down to Z for notes. Note Y is never use tomato paste to thicken the sauce. It'll ruin it. Because tomato paste is like dehydrated tomato sauce that's been blended and squished and blended and dehydrated to the point where it's paste. You do not want to add paste to your sauce. Nope. So that's note Y. There you go. So there's a pictorial. I got videos. I got pictures. There's Jimmy right there. Yeah. I got my shirt that I take pictures with. It's red, so that if I splash tomato sauce on it, you don't want to wear a white shirt when you're making this tomato sauce. No, there's the garlic, there's the rustic Italiano, And there's the tomato, the onions, sauteed onions, and the meatballs, the spicy meatballs. And of course, we put it on some thin spaghetti. It makes a marvelous tomato sauce. Yeah, it's a good one. Daniel says, I really need instructions on how to make the. I said, no problem, kiddo. You just go right here. And yeah, that's the address right there. And you can just copy that address, and then you can go to your. I'm going to go to. I have a link to myself, and I'm just going to do a paste. See how that comes up right there? Press the arrow, and now it's as simple as that. All you got to do is click on that, and it takes you right to this page directly. Yes, sir. What could be easier than that? So Daniel's wondering how to make this tomato sauce. That's how you make it. Yeah. And of course, you can jiggle a little this, a little that. You make it the way you want to, but that's generally how we do it. I should go through those instructions. I want to add a picture of the Alessi tomatoes. Any high quality tomato. Don't get those dollar a can tomatoes. It's a tomato sauce. You want to use a good tomatoes. So you pay up. I mean, that's if you want to waste money. But the Alessi tomatoes is $5.39 a can. The cheap tomatoes are $2.50 a can. Okay? Do not get the $2.20 canned tomatoes because they're terrible tomatoes. It's a tomato sauce, so stupid. You want to get the good tomatoes. Yeah.
What have I done? Oh my God. How do I get out of that? Okay, we had enough of this. Enough, 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 enough.
Oh, that's it right there. Okay. Woo. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I pushed my Coca-Cola into the soundboard, and it went into that very strange. I fell into that. I fell down into the well, and it took me a while to figure out how to get out of the well. All right, I'm out of the well. I promise I won't go there again. Yeah, there's some sound effects here that we prefer to avoid. All right, what's going on here? Let's start the test. This is an internet test. I don't like this one. So it's showing the download speed of 49 megabits per second and the upload speed 18. I use Ookla. Yeah, I don't know what that. The speed test I like is right here. Ookla. 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 That is. See if I can show you Ookla. Support. Who is, there we go. Let me go full screen on this so we can see there. Okla, Okla. For almost 2 decades, Okla has set the industry standard for both fixed and mobile network testing analysis. From its world-renowned speed test and speed detector platforms, let's see what's that. Who is Okla? Let's go back there. Anyway, so this is the place, where you do your testing. Right? So you see it's a green circle, and it's like a radiating with pulses. Press here, you press it. Bingo, press. All right. Now it is going to do a ping test, and the ping was 28 milliseconds. That means it's like in the submarine, right? You take a hammer, you bang on one of the pipes. And how long does it take for that pulse to come back to you? The round trip, when they send out a ping, one ping only. It's a P word, yeah. One ping only. And it took 28 milliseconds for it to get out of my modem and to go up to the background, the backbone, and then return. And the time that it takes to do that round trip is called a ping test. Ping, I-N-G, test. 2 words, ping test. And anyway, so 283 megabits per second download speed and 60.6 megabits per second upload speed. We can do the test again. Make sure. Yeah, that's all right. I need it to be at least 10 megabits per second up. Up is what you're interested in, because the upload speed is what determines whether I can talk to everybody out there, Cyberland. Remember, this is a Simulcast. We're broadcasting on 3 social networks live in our late edition tonight. It's 12:09 p.m. It's Tuesday. What the hell day? You dummy. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hello. Wake up. Yeah. Once they are cleaning, people come and they vacuum everything and they make our crap. These black pads, just so you know. See there? That's my keyboard. All right. And, it's this big gray thing. So I got these black, it's like cardboard covered with cloth. So I just cover that up because who cares? You got a lighted keyboard. It's fine. So I cover everything up like that so that we don't waste any pixels on things that doesn't matter. Yeah. I have an electronic fax. I'm going to push the button right here. There's my electronic fax. How do you like it? I love it. It costs me $100 a year. And the nice thing about it is um, is that I can send a fax from my iPad or my iPhone or a computer. Um, you don't need a fax machine. And it goes, you know, and I can send a fax without page stamp slowly and a cover page. There you go. So there's sent. There's my sent faxes. So let's take a look at that. So here I sent a fax. There's a confirmation page. Yeah. And you can see that Dr. Lubin's private fax, he received this at 8 p.m. on like a Sunday night or something. And I was telling him I'm running out of a certain one of my prescriptions. I need him to refill it. Well, guess what? He did. They're working on it right now. And, you ever try to call a doctor's office? I mean, it's like Chinese water torture. You can't get through to anybody. And I don't like leave a message. There's an old expression in the military: verbal orders don't go. You get written orders, type it out, so we have a record of what it is. And then we print it, we make a copy, we put it in the clipboard, and we run around and make sure whoever was to get that message gets the message. Verbal orders don't go. So I hate leaving verbal orders, which is like a voicemail. Not in my letters. I don't care for it. So I send faxes. So that is my communications channel to my doctor, is a fax. But if someone wants to send me a fax, they can send me a fax. Yeah. Because for $100 a year, I not only have, go back to, there's my fax number, 264, 561 for my area code here, Palm Beach County, 264-1310. That's my fax number. You can send me a fax right now at 561-264-1310. And then this app, this little application thingy, will pick up that fax and make an electronic image of your fax, no matter how many pages it is. And it'll send me a message and say, Jimmy, you got a fax. And then I can go get it, I can look at it, and I can print it if I want to. I can go get it, and then I'll have it electronically in the form of a PDF file, and I can save that PDF file. Or I can print it, whatever. But it's very handy because I can be on a ship, literally floating around in the Mediterranean Sea. And I can send and receive faxes right on my iPad. So that's why fax, F-A-X, is right down there in my little place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go back to my photos. And let's see, go to the top. Here we are. So we're worried about the hurricane. And then I asked Marilyn, please get me Sudafed. We're out. And unless I get Sudafed. And you need it, I need it, because we're at the tail end of this virus that we got. And there's my little station right there. And you can see I'm tracking a hurricane. And this is a picture. You can see me taking, here's my camera, my ring. I am standing back taking a picture of my little man cave thing here. Yep. Let's see. And the other big news is Trump and Zelensky, they're trying to figure out how to stop this war with Russia. Now, we're not in the war, but Zelensky's in the war. Ukraine got invaded by Russia because Putin decided 3.5 years ago, when Trump got out of office, well, let me go. If there's ever a time I could invade Ukraine and get some of my property back, this is the time. Trump isn't in office. We got Biden in there. He won't do anything other than whine and complain. And they won't do anything, and I'll end up capturing some of this property. He thought it would happen in a few days. Well, the Ukrainians are tough people. And they said, baloney, you will not take our land over my dead body. So anyway, this guy decided, I'm going to be in charge of Ukraine. He was a stand-up comedian. And he ends up, by fiat being in charge of Ukraine. Anyway, so he declared martial law, something like that. And he had an election. I don't think he ever had an election. I think he just decided, I'm going to be in charge. No one was in charge, so he took charge. It's a long story, and I probably got it all wrong, but I don't think he got elected. I think he just took charge, and whatever kind of legislature they had said, all right, well, no one else seems to want to do it, and you want to do it, so fine, do it. And he's in charge, so. And all the other, people in the world, the other, said, okay, well, so be it. There's our hurricane. As this was yesterday, and see how it's tracking below the cone of certainty? I call it the cone of uncertainty. Yep. The actual center of rotation of that wind field is right below that bottom line there. Well, if you keep doing that across, it ends up, in my backyard. And it's tracking a long time. And I'm afraid whatever steering currents were supposed to whip that over and make a U-turn, I'm afraid this has taken so much time that it might, go through whatever barrier supposedly preventing it from coming into. You can see there's the southern tip of Florida, and there is the eye of that hurricane. And that storm is bigger than the state of Florida. And it's heading right at us. And they keep saying, don't worry about it, it's going to take a turn. Well, it ain't turning. God damn it. It's not turning. Yeah. So someone in the media, I'm just looking at these pictures. Someone in the media said, this lady looked like she just saw a murder. She's like, oh shit. Well, she was in that meeting or in the side, sitting in the chairs on the side of the meeting, not in the, you got all the big shots sitting in the big boy seats. And then you got a row of other people sitting behind them, note takers. I would call them note takers. And this is our secretary, our press secretary. And look at them blue eyes. She's a cutie, huh? 29-year-old Carol Levitt. She is the press secretary. So Trump has got, you know, she goes everywhere he goes, except the bathroom. But she goes everywhere he goes, except for the toilet. So she's there, you know. She hears everything. She sees everything. She hears how these men talk to each other, the boys and the girls, all the cabinet members, and when Trump has these meetings with senators and congressmen, and the Secretary of Defense, and you name it, she's in there listening because she's the press secretary. And the only way she can know how to address the press now, Trump and his minions, talk to her and say, yeah, you can't say this and you can't say that. No, 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 you can't say this, you can't say that because it's classified. So she has to be mindful of what she cannot say. And so she's got can you imagine being 29 years old and you're the one that has been approved by whoever has to be? I don't think it is a senatorial confirmation spot. Yeah, the press secretary is not a cabinet position person. But aside for not being a cabinet person, she's everything else. And she's there. And she probably knows more about what's going on about everything than almost anybody except for the president himself, because he drags her into everything that there is. And he'll say, come on, come on. Yeah, and she's there. And, everybody gets out of her way because she's with him. And she takes notes, and she's responsible for essentially addressing the media, the world,